Hello, my dear friend. Why don't you come and get cozy? We're about to listen to a story together, a very special story, just perfect for a winter's night like this. Our story begins, as many stories do, once upon a time. It was the very last evening of the old year, a time that's usually filled with warm fires and happy families gathered close. But for one little girl, this night wasn't warm at all. No, it was a very, very cold winter's night, and she was all alone in the big, wide world. Can you just imagine it? The world was getting darker and darker, and soft, quiet snowflakes were beginning to drift down from the sky, covering everything in a beautiful blanket of white. But oh, it was terribly, terribly cold. You see, a poor little girl was walking through the streets. She didn't have a hat on her head, and her poor little feet were bare. They were all red and blue from the biting cold. She'd lost her mother's big slippers earlier when she had to run out of the way of some carriages. All she carried was a bundle of matches, hoping anyone might buy one. But nobody had, not all day long. As she walked along, she could see bright, warm, happy lights shining in all the windows. And oh, what was that wonderful smell filling the air? It was roast goose, because it was New Year's Eve, a time for wonderful feasts. She found a little corner, tucked between two houses, and she huddled down, just trying to escape the wind. But she only grew colder and colder. She couldn't go home, you see. She hadn't sold a single match, and she knew her father would be very, very cross with her. And so, there in the quiet, snowy dark, a little idea came to her. It was just a tiny spark of hope, a way to find just a little bit of warmth. Her little hands, they were so numb from the cold, they felt like they weren't even hers anymore. She thought to herself, maybe, just maybe, one little match could help. So she took one out, and with a little scratchy sound, it sputtered and crackled to life. What a noise it made in the quiet night! It burned with such a warm, bright flame, like a tiny, perfect candle. She cupped her hands around it, and suddenly, it felt as if she were sitting right in front of a great big iron stove with shiny brass knobs. The fire inside burned so wonderfully. It was so lovely and warm. But just as she stretched out her little feet to warm them too, poof, the flame went out. The big, warm stove just vanished, and all she had left was the little burnt end of the match in her hand. But the magic wasn't over. Not yet. The little girl decided to try again, to strike another match, and then another, and with each new flame, a new wonder appeared before her very eyes. She struck a second one. This time, the wall right next to her became clear, just like looking through glass, and she could see right into a dining room. A table was set with a snow-white cloth and beautiful plates, and right in the middle was a glorious roast goose steaming with apples and prunes. And then the most amazing thing happened. The goose hopped right off the platter and started to waddle across the floor, coming straight toward her. But just then, the match went out, and all that was there was the cold, hard wall again. She lit another match. And suddenly, she was sitting under the most beautiful Christmas tree she had ever seen. Thousands of candles glowed on its green branches, and colorful pictures looked down at her. She reached her hands out toward them, but the match went out. As the flame vanished, the lights from the trees seemed to fly up, up, up into the dark sky, until they looked just like stars. And then one star fell, leaving a long, fiery trail behind it. Now someone is going to heaven, she whispered to herself. Her dear old grandmother, the only person who had ever truly loved her, had told her that when a star falls, it means a soul is going up to be with God. And as she thought of her grandmother, the only one who had ever been truly kind to her, she lit one more match, hoping for just one more beautiful vision. And there, in the warm, gentle glow, stood her grandmother. She looked so clear and shining, so very kind, and so very lovely. "Grandmother," the little girl cried out, "oh, please take me with you. I know you'll disappear when the match burns out, just like the warm stove and the lovely goose." She just couldn't bear for her grandmother to leave. So quickly, so very quickly, she struck the entire bundle of matches against the wall. And they all flared up with such a brilliant light, it felt brighter than the daytime sun. And in that beautiful, wonderful light, her grandmother looked more lovely than ever. She took the little girl into her arms, and together they flew up, 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 into brightness and joy, high above the earth, to a place where there is no cold, no hunger, and no fear. The night passed, and the sun rose on the first morning of the new year, shining its cold light down on the quiet city. In the little corner, leaning against the wall, sat the little girl. Her cheeks were rosy, and she had a smile on her face. People who walked by saw her there, with all her burnt-out matches. "Poor thing," they said. "She was only trying to warm herself." But no one knew. No one could ever imagine the beautiful things she had seen, or just how happily she had gone with her dear grandmother into the bright and wonderful light of the new year.